For months, PM listeners sent us their favourite sounds, and earlier this month we revealed that all the sounds we broadcast were being considered for a very special event. BBC Radio 3 commissioned the award-winning young composer Tom Harold to write an original composition which will be performed at the proms using some of our listeners' sounds. The work will have its world premiere here on PM. Earlier in the month, Tom was here before he began the task of sifting through all the sounds we broadcast. Now he has completed that task of sifting, and he's back. You survived?
Absolutely, yeah. It was great fun.
Really?
Yeah, certainly, yeah. The sounds were really, really interesting and really quite exciting.
How did you approach it then? You must have sat down with all of the sounds together and just played them until you had a headache, I presume.
I didn't get a headache. They were really, really good. But I was struck immediately by two strands in the listener's sounds, one of which was weather and one of which was travel. So I quite quickly kind of grasped onto that and decided to use that as the theme for the piece. So it's almost like a kind of stormy journey or something like that.
And when you say theme, tell me a little about how these sounds are going to be part of the entire composition.
I suppose it's how the sounds give narrative to the piece, and I'm not going to be explicit in giving a definite narrative to the piece, but that's something a bit freer, something which is good for me to be able to create the piece, and listeners can take what they want from it.
All right, well, I should say the names of the people who sent in the sounds that you've chosen. They are Simon Lee, Peter Hood, Tony Bennett, no relation, Phil Taylor, Julia Boyd, Karol Kerzanovsky, Douglas Whitworth, Sarah Blatchford, David Reeves, Julian Hardstone, Sally Bowden, Michael Donmel, Savage, Howard Venning, James Humphreys, JWS, Bill Ward and Chris Barrett, all of whom will be getting some very dull paperwork from the BBC in the post shortly. But better than that, they will all receive an invitation to the proms performance on the 20th of August at the Inspire Competition Winners Concert. So congratulations, you are in. Let's have a quick listen, a very quick dash through all the sounds that you've chosen, Tom. This is it, about a minute of it. Excuse me. So what are you going to do? We were able to put that together. One of our very clever studio directors was able to put that together, and we just put it all there. You've got to do something musical with it.
I don't think the sounds are going to be musical. I'm going to leave that to the acoustic instruments. I think the sounds are, as I said, are going to give the narrative to the piece. Are really going to tell the story, and I'm going to put it into a backing track, which the acoustic instruments are going to play under. How it's going to work, I'm not totally convinced yet, in terms of how I'm going to put it together, but I think it's going to be great.
How long have you got? What's your deadline?
End of July.
Are you not worried about that?
Not at all. No,
there we
go.
Great. Tom Harold, relaxed and refreshed, ready to go with all of our listeners' thoughts. What is the writing process that you go through? Do you set aside specific time in a day to do this kind of thing, or do you just wait for the muse to be upon you?
I'm very much a morning person, so it's normally get up quite early, go to the gym, and then come back and start working. And I handwrite everything. So what I'll do is I'll probably do a handwritten score of the electroacoustic part and a handwritten score of the acoustic part, and marry the two together. So it's not. You would imagine that it's going to be done at computer, but initially it's all done on paper, so I can really I pin up the sheets onto my wall so I can see it and really get a real idea of the flow of the piece.
How long are you giving yourself? I know you've got a deadline, but do you intend to do it quite quickly and then refine it, or?
Yeah, I do quite a few drafts, so it'll probably be 2 or 3 drafts over the next month or so, and then see what happens from there.
Okay, we're going to keep in touch with you. Thank you so much, Tom. Tom Harold, working with our listeners' sounds. Now, let's get the weather forecast, having spoken about the weather.